What is happening, people, and welcome to today's video. I want to share with you guys my top 5 assistance movements of all time. These are just exercises that end up showing up in my programming just constantly. Now, these do come in no particular order. However, unless you have not watched the channel for any amount of time, you're probably already guessing what my top 5 are going to be. And if rows did not make it on your list, then you don't know me very well. Apparently we aren't friends. But here's the thing, whether they be barbell rows, single arm dumbbell rows, the T-bar row, the seated row, the standing row, the chest supported row, whatever the case may be, I love rows, and I think they are very, very underused and just appreciated in conditioning and strength programming in general. Not only will it fix your problems from being at a computer or texting all day, but it will also build up part of your posterior chain, which is the best thing for functionality as well as longevity that you can possibly do. And plus, no one wants to be the old person with the humpback. If you are the old person with the humpback, I apologize. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying no one wants to look like that. That's all I'm saying. You would have an easier time finding a cold day in Hades rather than seeing a deadlift or bench day of mine without rows in some sort of fashion with some sort of variation. Second movement I want to talk to you guys about is loading. Just some sort of big, heavy, cumbersome object that I'm taking from the ground, picking it up to at least my face level or up onto my shoulder. Now, I find that loading is one of the most functional things because that is something that we do all of the time. It will help you with longevity. It builds your posterior chain. I use it as a priming exercise before my deadlift or my squats on lighter things, or it could show up in my conditioning or, of course, in my strongman training. Loading is an exercise and just movement pattern that we do not do enough in commercial gyms, or most people in their programming just neglect that, and is an absolute problem for transitioning your strength over into your real life. The third assistant movement that I want to sing the praises of are the pull-up or the chin-up in all variations. You guys know that I use the weighted chin-up extensively. That's what I use as an arm builder. I use bodyweight pull-ups virtually every single conditioning session, virtually every single squat day. I use them. I do a grease the groove principle with ring pull-ups. I have them hanging up in my shop so that when I walk past my office, I'll go in and I'll do a set of pull-ups. I do pull-ups all of the time. I think they are massively underrated, and not nearly enough people do them. If you aren't able to do pull-ups, I have an entire pull-up playlist that will take you from 0 all the way up to doing really great things with pull-ups. So don't use that as an excuse that you can't do it yet. There are other things that you can do, and they are just so important for everyone's training. You should be able to pull yourself up. I mean, if there's a flood or a bear or something, and you need to jump up in a tree and pull yourself up there, you need to climb through a burning window of a house. Like, a pull-up is a very important thing to do if you're ever going to be a superhero. So if you want to be a superhero, learn to do some pull-ups. Number 4, again, in no particular order, is going to be the weighted carries. Weighted carries are something that you see in my programming all the time, no matter whether it be farmer's walks, sandbag carries, waiter's walks, all different types of things where I'm picking up big, heavy, cumbersome objects and moving them point A to point B as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Now, I don't only do this for my strength training, for my aesthetics, for my conditioning, everything like that, but I also do this because of the functionality that it bleeds over into all other areas of my life. Just like the loading, being able to pick up something big and heavy from the ground, carry it over somewhere, and then put it up on a shelf is a huge life skill that virtually everyone should know. And the more old people that could possibly do that, I'm sure we'd see their lives just be enriched in a lot of good ways, if not being lengthened in a lot of other ways. Weighted carries are something that should be part of every single person's strength programming. Finally, number 5 on my strength movement assistance exercises is going to be the glute ham raise or Nordic hamstring curl if you don't have access to a glute ham raise. But this is just something that I always find myself falling back to because it's a big builder of the glutes, it's a big builder of the hamstrings, it's a big builder of the entire posterior chain, which again directly correlates over to strength on virtually every single lift, as well as functionality, longevity. Everything that is good about weightlifting comes through your posterior chain, which all of these exercises, if you didn't notice, every single one of these is posterior chain heavy. I do train the big 4 religiously: the squat, the deadlift, the bench, the overhead press, and I do a lot of pressing. I think it is massively important. However, when it comes to assistance exercises and tier 2 exercises that I care the most about, I find them the most in my training. It's these last 5 that I just mentioned. Let me give you number 6 as just an honorable mention, and that is the split squat. Both the Bulgarian split squat as well as the front foot elevated split squat. I use those both all the time. Virtually a week doesn't pass where I don't do some sort of single-legged squat, because I think Unilateral leg training is massively important, not only for your brain health, for your longevity, for helping imbalances in your body and stopping like corkscrewing when you're squatting. A lot of problems like that will get solved if you just throw in a decent amount of unilateral leg training. So yeah, there are my top 5 plus an honorable mention for number 6 of the most assigned assistance movements that you will see in my programming, hands down. And when I actually took the time to make this video and thought about the fact that I do repeat these so much, and we tend to repeat things that are easy for us or that we're good at or whatever because we're all hedonistic in nature. I'm happy that these are things that I gravitate towards because they are so useful for everyday training, and I couldn't recommend any of those top 5 or 6 more than already do. So if you guys ever buy a program from me, you will see plenty of these things involved inside of it. Some don't have like the loading or as much of the weighted carries because they're made for commercial gyms. But if you do any sort of strongman training, you know how much exercises like this are a game changer to your regular barbell exercises. So I would highly recommend, if any way possible you can get involved, that you do get involved. But that is what I have for all of you people today. I do thank you so much for the time, the attention, absolutely everything you guys do to support the channel. The calls, the consultation calls, especially right now, I'm absolutely loving them. It is so much fun. So if you guys are interested in doing a coaching call, we talk about everything from form checks to life problems to lifting problems to whatever, learning different ways to educate yourself or how to meta learn and get more information in faster, or what other resources I use that can help you and all that type of stuff. We do that, and then of course the programs. Something really cool is about ready to come out with programs. I wanted to bring it out this week, but it is not going to come out this week. It'll probably be next week because of this video. So I will catch up with you guys later this week, early next week with that. But until I do, go out something amazing with lives. Keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. I'll see you then.